What up? I'm doing some meal prep for the week, and so I figured while I'm doing this anyway, might as well talk and get my thoughts out because I have a lot on my mind, and so if I'm gonna be spending my time doing this anyway, might as well yap while I'm doing it. So hope you enjoyed. This is what I eat right now. I am eating 2,600 calories, focusing on rebuilding my habits, my brain's relationship with food. So there's a couple rules. Number one, no phones at all while eating. That means no background music, no podcasts. Literally sitting down, staring into space while eating, so that I'm fully conscious. Because the problem is, for so long, I've stuffed my face while watching some kind of video or show or something. And so my brain basically built that relationship with eating that instantly, as soon as I start eating, my awareness goes elsewhere. And so I don't even realize what I'm eating. And I did that for so long at such an intense level because I was eating foods that gave me a crazy dopamine spike while doing it. So it was like ice cream and donuts and shit like that. And so when doing that, I basically trained my brain to not be conscious of what I'm eating and therefore overeat like crazy and not even realize it until I'm too full that I feel like I'm going to throw up. So right now, I am actively in the stage of rebuilding my eating habits and my brain's associations with food and with eating. And so I'm not even concerned about being fat because I've just been in a cycle for so long of me being like upset with how I look and then starving myself for 4 or 5 days to try to lose 5, 6, 7, 10 pounds. And then I do that, but then obviously it's unsustainable. And then one day I'll go out and I'll binge a bunch more food and I'll go right back to where I started. And that cycle lasts for months at a time. And so I've learned after lots of struggle to accept where I'm at currently and to let time do its thing. And that's been a big thing for me in the past recent couple of days, which is the word patience and accepting the fact that the process is working, but I have to let time catch up. Like that's a big thing for me is just letting time catch up. It's like if I'll eat clean for 5 days, but I won't notice a change. And so then I'll be like, oh, well, something's not working. I got to switch something up. And that happened to me a couple of days ago. And I realized, oh, no, I don't have to switch anything up. It's just that I have to wait for time to catch up. And time didn't catch up. And so it's like if I keep eating the way that it's like I eat clean for 5 days, but there's no change. It's like, oh, something must be broken. As opposed to, oh, nothing's broken. I just need to keep doing this for another 25 days. And then after 25 days, guess what? My body will look different. But it's not going to look different after 5 days. And so I need to let time catch up. I need to have patience and trust the process, which was a brand new kind of realization and difficult for me. So I got to track this real quick. Sorry, so I'm going to have to edit this later because every time I get one of these down, I'm going to have to go in and track it. And so I'm going to have to like stop the video because I want this to be as accurate as possible. So I might have to edit a bunch of these clips together to make one video. But the point that I was saying was, actually I forget. Basically, I have to retrain my brain, which is why I'm doing this. So I'm focusing. Oh, shit. I just broke my knife. And so the point of this was, right now, yes, I am fat. Yes, I'm very uncomfortable with how I look and how I feel at the present moment. But I understand that that changes long term. And what I'm wanting to, I'm implementing a permanent solution, not a temporary one, right? So yes, I can starve myself for a week and a half and maybe lose a couple of pounds and feel a little bit better. But then in the long term, it's just going to continue the cycle to keep going. And that's not what I want. The whole purpose of me going through this whole change in the beginning is to completely rebuild my habits, and that way I can stay the way that I want to look and stay in shape for the rest of my life, not for 2 months, right? And so I've learned that that's part of the process. I've learned to accept that, and then that comes with the territory of getting in shape. And slowly, what's cool is I actually feel my brain starting to get the concept of delayed gratification, right? Like it's starting to understand that, to trust the process and just say, okay, I don't look the way that I want to right now, yes, but if I just keep eating the way that I'm eating right now and wait 30 days, then I'll be able to look the way that I want to look, which is great. I need to like write this down. Sorry, I need to grab a pen, so come with me. I need to grab a pen so I can write this down because instead of stop the video every time I'm going to track something. Instead, I'm just going to write it down, and I can go back and track it all afterwards. But that's like a big thing for me right now when it comes to the food, when it comes to delayed gratification, a lot of different areas. It's really just rebuilding my brain, because my brain has a lot of bad habits right now. And so I need to obviously rebuild them, and that's done piece by piece over time. And so my goal is not to nectarine. My goal is not to, be drastically different in the next week. My goal is to implement the proper habits, to rebuild my habits so that I could be a new human permanently 6 months from now. Does that make sense? And again, that all ties back into that concept of delayed gratification. And so now that I'm actually speaking this out loud and like going through it, I'm realizing how broken my brain really is, how messed up my mind really is from years and years and years of doing just messed up shit, bro. Being in bad environments and like not doing messed up stuff, but just being around messed up people. Like at first I was basically in a cult, and so everyone thought I was crazy. They stuck me on antidepressants, and I'm not blaming them, but I was put on antidepressants as an 18 or 17-year-old kid. All right, so that whole deal fucked me up for a couple of years, and then I came to the Elliott Group, and then all of a sudden I was again. I realized how broken my brain was in terms of like my identity, my confidence, who I believe I am, all of these different things. And I realized how broken I really was. And so now that I'm actually here, like, it's a weird thing because this 6 months is literally like my cocoon, essentially, is a great way of putting it, where it's like, same way that a butterfly goes into a cocoon, or a caterpillar rather, goes into a cocoon and then spends some time just like hurtled up and then comes out like a butterfly. That's literally what I'm doing now, where yes, there's obviously I need to make money and there's the business side of things and all of that. However, in addition to that is me actually rebuilding my habits, right? Rebuilding the person that I am long term so that I can have the personal habits that I want to have permanently long term that last, and not be in this like cycle of temporary chasing dopamine, and then it fades, and then I chase it again, and then it fades, and it's just like I can't live that way. Like, I'm using this to also build the man I become. And I love when Greg Lav talks about it. He says, spend just as much time building the man who can handle your goals as you do actually pursuing your goals, right? So it's like, for example, he talks about like if you're the kind of if you want to build a $100 million company like I am, you need to spend you can't just like build a $100 million company and then you're done. It's like once you do it, you'll be running a $100 million company. And so it's like you need to be the person that's capable of doing that. You need to be the person that's capable of running a $100 million company. And it's like that takes time. You need to build that person. Damn, this is less than I thought. Or more than I thought. And so it's like spend just as much time becoming the person capable of handling your goals as you do actually chasing them to make them a reality. And so that is a little mantra for where I'm at now as well, which is like, yes, I'm focusing on building the business and the sidewalk effect and blowing that shit up, right? But it's also rebuilding me and rebuilding my man, who I am as a man. And so for me, that's kind of why. So that's another thing, was like in the beginning. When I say in the beginning, I mean like a couple days ago. I was struggling because I felt like I had a lot to do on the business side of things and work and all that. But I was in the gym and I needed to work out. And I was like, maybe I'm taking too long. Let me cut my workout short. But then I stopped and I realized I'm not going to cut my workout short, because my whole goal with this is to become the man that's on my vision board, right? And so part of that is being in shape. And part of being in shape is fixing and rebuilding my habits around eating and fitness. And so that is getting me closer to my goals, right? Meaning the whole point was I was so focused on the business, right? So if I didn't get up as early as I wanted to. I wanted to wake up at like 5 a.m. and instead of waking up at 5, I was up at like 7 or 8, right? I didn't get to the gym till like 9. I'm like, maybe I should shorten my workout and go work. But it's like, no, because the person that I'm wanting to become is the guy that's in shape. Fitness is an important pillar in that. And so me being in the gym is getting me closer to my goals, not taking away from it. Even if I'm spending 2.5 hours in the gym, it's at 12 o'clock. That's the person that I want to be, is someone who's in shape. And so being there is also adding to my goals, not just detracting from it. It's not just the business. It's also the person that I want to be. Right? And it's like, and that's where the quote came in of spend just as much time building the man who can handle my goals as I do chasing my goals, right? I don't want to go chase the business. Let's say I make 200 grand in the next 6 months and then all of a sudden I'm fat. Like, that's not what I wanted. The whole point was to do it my way, was to build it my way, to become this person that I want to be while building the company. And like, that's the whole reason why I left working a job in the first place, was to not just build a life that I want, but to build a life so I can live it my way. And part of that means spending time on my fitness, right? And I think of Hormozy, he says, it's like, what makes a good day? It's when he works out. And he was talking about working out. He was like, he was starting to resent it. And he said, why? And he said, it's because he was rushing. And he was like, I want to be able to work out for as long as I want without having to rush. He's like, I want to be able to work out for 2.5 hours if that's what I want. And he said this, he's like, I have all, and this is what he said to himself. He's like, I have all this fucking money. Why am I not letting myself work out the way that I want to work out? And that's when he decided, he's like, I'm going to spend as much time in the gym as I want. And so it's the same thing for me. Obviously, I don't have that money yet, and I'm not at that level yet, right? But the whole point of me leaving my job and going in all in on this business and like this cocoon that I'm in right now was to rebuild the person that I want to be. And part of that is someone who's in shape. And so spending more time on my fitness isn't taking away from the business goals. It's adding to my goals of the person that I want to become. It's like the business is the business, and then it's become the person who can handle the business. And that is the fitness area. It's the food. So it's like doing this, what I'm doing now, like meal prepping. Could I be on my computer right now typing some shit up or practicing for tomorrow, preparing because tomorrow I'm going out and filming? Yeah, I could. But this is just as important to me, because this matters. It's part of the person that I want to become. Fixing my eating habits is just as important. It's why I'm okay to sit and it takes 25 minutes to eat a meal, because I'm rebuilding my habits. That's part of it. It's just as important to me as the business, because there's two options, right? At the end of this 6 months, either I'm going to have the sidewalk effect up and off the ground, like meaning I'm going to have paying clients and customers and products and it's going to get going, or I'm not, and I'm going to be completely broken out of money. Like, one of those two scenarios are going to happen. There's no other option. All right? It's like either I'll have the business up and running, or I'll need to go get a job or drive Uber because I need to make money to pay the bills. Either way, in either of those case scenarios, I'm still either going to be fat or in shape. I'm still going to have to be eating every single day. I'm still going to be going to the gym every single day. Like, fitness is always going to be a part of that. So if I were to so let's take the worst case. Best case scenario, it works out great, right? In which case, thank God, let's freaking go, right? The sidewalk effect to the moon. Let's say worst case scenario, it doesn't work out the way that I want it to. In 6 months from now, I'm completely out of money. Sidewalk effect didn't work. I got no clients. I got nothing. If that happens, but I'm in shape, I'll still be okay, because I know that I'm not going to, like, I'm done, bro. I'm done working. Like, I've made that decision. Right now, I'm in the business. Like, I'm in the business, bro. So I have a decade. I'm either going to win or, like, I'll either win or learn. That's it. And if I fail, then I save up for a little bit, maybe drive Uber, and then I'm back into it. Like, this isn't going to stop. This is a cycle of me trying to make the business work until I succeed for at least another 10 to 20 years, bro. So it's like I have 10 to 20 years of going in the business. The question is, am I going to be in shape during that time? And it's like, honestly, in 6 months from now, if I succeed and I'm in shape, fan-fucking-tastic. I built my dream life. Hope that's going to happen. I'm going to make sure it fucking happens. Worst, for whatever reason, hypothetically, worst possible fucking case scenario is that for whatever reason, the sidewalk effect is not making money at the end of the 6 months. If that's happening, but if that's the case, if the sidewalk effect isn't making any money, I'm having trouble saying what I want to say. But because I've actually paid attention to my fitness during that time period, I'm now in shape the way that I've wanted to be, and I'm now the man that's on my vision board, then I'll still be okay. Like, I'll still be, I don't even want to say happy, but like, I'll still be happy with this cocoon time period because I would have made it out. Because I would have at least have gotten in shape, which to me is the most important thing in my life right now. It's like my physique, my being in shape is number one, because I don't want to just be in shape for a little bit. I want to be in shape for the rest of my fucking life, right? And so that matters to me. And so I got to finish this up because I got to track it and everything. But the whole point is that, like, if it doesn't work out, but at least I'm in shape, I'll still be happy. But if it doesn't work out and I'm not in shape, I'll feel like this was a whole fucking waste of time. And, like, nothing would have changed. And so I'd rather take that extra time away from the business and focus on actually fixing my eating habits, fixing me this, bro, and getting in actual shape, not just having this shit. And then even if the business doesn't work, I'll still be okay with that decision. What I won't be okay with is if it doesn't work and I'm not in shape, fuck that, dude. And so this is important to me. This matters just as much. Okay, we prepped lunch for the next 3 days. Now it's time to prep dinner. Next topic of conversation is going to be the following. I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of nervous for tomorrow. I'm a little bit scared. Today is Saturday, August 15th. Tomorrow is the day that I go out and perform or film content / perform street magic. And the game plan is to go to ASU and film that stuff. And I was looking, and apparently this week is move-in week at Arizona State University. And for whatever reason, there's always been this, like, insecurity. And I think it comes from my childhood of, like, never being the popular kid in school, in high school and in middle school. I've always had, like, this fear around just, like, school kids. Not fear, but insecurity, rather. I'm not fucking afraid of anything. And the reason I say that, if you don't know, is because I have a declaration of myself that I was afraid of a lot of things for so fucking long. And then there was this incident, which I'll get into in another time, where someone, an adult, was picking on me in a way that where he physically, like, wrapped his arm around my neck and, like, pretended to choke me out, pretended like it was a joke, but literally lifted me off the ground from my neck. And I just sat there like a fucking pussy and took it and didn't say anything, didn't do nothing about it. And I was pissed that whole day at myself. Because I was literally like, I've never felt like such a pussy in my entire fucking life. I literally sat there and let him almost choke me out, manhandle me, and said nothing and did nothing. And I was like, fuck that shit. I'm never doing that again. And the next day he kind of like picked on me where I asked a question and he just made it sound like I was asking a stupid question. And so I confronted him about it in person afterwards, had a whole conversation with him, nice and calm, wasn't offended. But the point is, I confronted him when he tried to bully me again. And that was the last time he ever did that, right? And because I knew that if I didn't say anything, then that would continue. And there was like little picking on before, but after this, I knew that if I didn't say anything, he would just walk all over me, bro. And I said, I'm never letting another human walk over me like that again. So I stood up to him. And then after I stood up to him, there was like this weird... I just had so much fucking confidence, bro. I felt proud of myself for the first time in a long time. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a call. I just felt really fucking proud of myself for the first time in a long time. Alright, sorry, so I'm gonna have to edit this later. But I felt really fucking proud of myself, right? And so ever since then, I realized how afraid I was of every little thing. And like if I would go to I remember I went up to my apartment and there was like a bug and it was nighttime and I was like, oh, I was like, oh shit. And I'm like, why the fuck am I afraid of a tiny little fucking bug, bro? And I used that same courage to be like, dude, I'll fucking kill this thing. I'll step on it. This shit should be afraid of me. And I just started thinking like that all day, all the time. And it really shifted my perspective on a lot of different things. And so I vowed from there. And I know the importance of speaking. The words that you speak about yourself matter. And I recognize that about myself. And so I declared that I would never, ever say that I'm afraid of anything ever again. I would never speak that, period. I would say I have a concern or this is a concern of mine or something I'm thinking about, whatever, but I will never, ever say that I'm afraid of something. I don't care if it's fucking fighting a shark. If I'm fighting the shark, you better be praying for the fucking shark, bro. And so, cantaloupe. And so I vowed from that day that I will never say that I'm afraid of anything ever again. So when I say I'm not afraid of anything, that's where it's coming from, and that's why. Now, that being said, back to what I was saying earlier, which was what? Shit, I forget. Oh, these people for tomorrow. So for whatever reason, when it comes to being around kids, like school kids, I've just like always had this insecurity because I was never the popular kid in school. And so when I think about like, oh, the college kids, going to them, but then I think about how fucking stupid that is, bro. Like, they're literally just people. And what's cool is like I'm actively seeing the old identity of me be crushed and killed by this new identity that I'm creating, right? Because now I think about it and I'm like, oh, the girls are hotter, this or that. And I think about now. See, this is what I mean when I say that I'm killing off the old me and the new one is killing the old me. It means I have evidence now that this new version of me, that I'm not shy, that I'm not insecure, that I am cool, that I am popular, that I do get the girls. Like, I have evidence now, so I'm starting to actually believe it, like, deep in my core, right? And I think back, like, dude, I went on 2 dates with Hannah, who's like 8 well, in person, realistically, she's like a 7 out of 10, right? But she looks like an 8, 9 out of 10. So I went on 2 actual dates, bro. I spent a whole fucking day with her. I think to the New York Mastermind, I was doing street magic. A whole fucking lot of the hottest girls I've ever seen in my entire fucking life, dude. I'm talking straight 12 out of 10s. New York, like 6 foot tall, blonde, blue eyes, freaking sexy legs, like everything, bro. Hottest girls I've ever seen in my life. And I went up to the whole fucking group of them. There's no dudes. It was just them. And I did magic on them, bro. Like 9 girls at a time. And guess what I did? I did the kissing trick, bro. And yeah, like, I don't care how it went. The fact that I had the balls to go do that, bro. And now I'm like, I'm going to go to a college campus and do an interview and ask a couple of questions. And I'd be like, hey, you want to see magic trick? I'm like, bro, that's fucking easy, bro. These people are just people, bro. And they're like, oh, they're hot girls. Like, who gives a shit, bro? I've been on dates with hot girls. I've approached hot girls. I've done the kissing trick with hot girls a bunch of times. Like, I don't give a shit anymore, bro. And I'm like starting to build evidence, and that's actually true. And that's the cool thing, right? And then I think about like that in the business aspect in terms of like going out and doing the magic or doing the interviews. It's like before the old, like, I'm not afraid of going out and doing the interviews anymore because of my evidence in going door to door. It's like when I did solar, door to door, I went out all day, every day, got doors shut in my face, got slammed, got rejected, and I was trying to get all their personal information. Like, I would have to get their phone number, their email, their personal home address. Imagine you walk up, and because I was in Home Depot. So I was either going up to customers in Home Depot or knocking doors. And so imagine you have to go up to a random person you've never known before, never seen in your entire life, and you have to get them to give you their personal phone number, their email, and their personal address of where the home that they live at, bro. And then go through a whole call with the call center of like confirming, are you the homeowner? Are you going to have the title or the deed at the time of meeting? Like asking this question to random people, bro. And I did that shit. If I can do that every day, bro, going up and saying, what do you think of this hoodie? Are you kidding me? How fucking easy is that, bro? Like when it comes to the rejection, bro, first of all, I've already walked the 30,000 steps a day. I've already gotten rejected a bunch of times. This is so much fucking easier. I don't actually have to get like their phone number or their information. I just have to ask them to review a product, bro. Are you kidding me? This shit's nothing. And so it's like, I'm just thinking about that because it's cool to see it happening in my mind in real time of like that old identity starting to fall apart of me being insecure and being an introvert and all that stuff is going away because of the evidence that I'm building for this new person. And so you top it out with all the rebuilding that I'm doing now in this little cocoon. It's just a really cool feeling. And so I was just thinking about that because it was like, oh, I'm nervous and it's college tomorrow and what if there's hot girls there? I'm like, bro, who gives a shit, dude? I went on dates with all these hot girls. Like I went on dates with girls, bro. What's harder? To spend literally 9 hours an entire day with a singular girl who I find attractive? An entire day? Or to spend 30 seconds in an interview asking some questions that no one gives a shit, that I don't give a shit about, and then walk away and never see them again? Spending 8 hours, bro. If I could spend 9 hours a day with Hannah, bro, and go up to the hot ass girls and in New York, then I can ask a random person. I could ask some college girl at ASU, bro, a fucking interview question about how she likes a hoodie. I mean, are you kidding me, bro? I'm the fucking G. So anyway, I'm gonna go back to meal prepping. I want to get this done quickly. Maybe listen to some music. So that's it for this one. It's August 12th. It's 5:03 p.m. Tomorrow's a big day. We go out. We film some content at ASU. It's also moving day, so there's gonna be a lot of people there, which is great. And that's it for this one. I'll see myself in the next one. Peace. Rap.